It all begins with the eternal natural law, a philosophy, it is said, that came into being roughly 6,000 years ago and was spread across the Eurasian landmass by the shamans or the priestly caste of the Proto-Indo-Europeans. We believe this because of the very real similarities in the gods' beliefs and traditions from India to Ireland. A philosophy similar to what was called the perennial philosophy. But is it simply a philosophy? Or something deeper, a current, a divine force of nature that predates humankind? Thus, as a force of nature, it's neither good or bad. And are we, human beings, simply conduits for this current? But what happened to the eternal natural law that now, here in the West especially, it's the very idea of it is vilified? Where it had to go underground as occult knowledge. We're all aware of the Christian influence on Western society and the separation of the divine spark and the shadow self. This is reflected in Jesus and Satan, and before that with Ahura Mazda and Ahriman. The good God, bad God, light, dark duality. A philosophy that teaches one to fear the darkness and that one must beg to be saved from that very darkness. A philosophy used as a tool of subjugation. Control the psyche, take dominion over the soul, dominate the soul, enslave the body. Besides my contempt for the Abrahamist faiths, I also have no love for modern paganism either. It's because they too play the light-dark duality game. They think they're preservers of the ancient pre-Christian traditions, but in truth, they've never left the Christian sandbox. Like Abrahamists, they also fear the dark. But wait a second, you might exclaim, aren't you sinisterists playing the same game by emphasizing the dark aspects over the light? And aren't you hypocritical for utilizing archetypes from Judeo-Christian mythology? There's a reason why we emphasize the dark. It's because of the very fact it's been shunned, vilified. We bring it forward because we're honest. We don't want to lie to ourselves. From the very beginning, the Abrahamists have been attempting to eliminate the dark aspects. But that's impossible. It's impossible because it's a part of who we are. So that's how they trap people, like hamsters in a wheel, a vicious circle. And because we live in a society that shuns the darkness, no one is born on the left-hand path with an awareness of the benefits of what lies in the dark. You have to choose to take that path. And whether you realize it or not, I believe we make this choice because we innately sense the inherent hypocrisy in the light-dark duality. Thus, through this honest appraisal of human nature, we dare to face the darkness in order to become more than who we presently are. It's not that we're searching for spiritual enlightenment, it's much more than that. If it were only about reaching calm in our souls, we would have stayed on the right-hand path. Now, we have a will that compels us to venture into realms where most fear to tread. We don't shrink from the horrors of reality. We dare to gaze down into the abyss without diverting our eyes. We become purpose-driven. We don't struggle blindly, but instead deliberately, with a fervor for existence. Thus, with all its raw honesty, Sinisterism is a life-affirming philosophy, the individual's path to self-overcoming, to apotheosis. So, in conclusion, the Abrahamists knew what they were doing by vilifying the eternal natural law and its dark aspects. They did it because they wanted to separate the human from what they truly are, divine. And why do they want this? Because if you're already divine, you don't need God.